right, welcome back to our bathroom renovation job. You want to come on in, and we'll show you where we stand with things at this point. We have repainted the walls. We finished all the electrical work. We have finished the additional electrical items, which was talked about putting a humidistat in here. And when we finish up, we'll actually install this humidistat. We're going to leave this off for now because we just don't want to get any dust, if there's any dust from anything. And then we've got our cabinetry all installed here. And we also have our sinks on site now. And this is a Kohler 2240. This is a white Kohler 2240. And this is a nice sink. It's a very nice sink. Some of the great things about when you buy a more expensive sink is you can see what Kohler does is they shave this back area off. And the great thing about that is we don't have to deal with trying to get our plumbing fixtures around this lip. You'll find less expensive sinks, they don't actually go through this process. It costs a little bit more to make sure they've done this, but when you install this sink, we'll actually have a flat space here. This sink will actually come forward a little bit, and that way we've got room for our backsplash thickness as well as our fixture itself. This sink is actually a very large sink for a vanity. It's a nice wide sink. I think it's about 19 inches wide. And then our cabinet guy, what he's done is he's put in these 3-inch, basically these pocket nailing strips. And what we'll have to do is we'll have to actually remove part of this when we put the sink in out back here to allow for the faucet, and then out front here so we can draw this sink forward. And then the other thing you can see is there's part of this sink, when they mill this sink, they glaze it, and then they mill this and they sand this mark into it. And this mark is extremely flat. It's done on a flat sander and grinder, and they actually grind part of the finish off. So this is back down to the original unfinished ceramic. And what that does is the unfinished ceramic is actually porous. And now, when we undermount this sink, because this is an undermount sink, when we undermount this, we will fill this with either Lexel or a Geocell or some kind of clear silicone, and it will actually adhere better than it normally does to the finished fired ceramic. So it's kind of a nice little feature there because you get a much better bonding, and then it'll bond to the underside of the Caesar stone. Our Caesar stone is in production now, and there was an order time for that. It's a really nice material, but it does take a little bit longer because we don't get it locally. It has to be brought in. The cabinetry, just to give you a little idea, this is walnut. This is a dark walnut cabinetry, and you can see these are solid drawers. They're actually a dovetail drawer. This is really nice construction here. And then these are on what we call undermount drawer slides. These are balloon. Look at that. I've got the appliance thing right on there. We won't show that. These are undermount drawer slides. They're very popular now. And to install them, you basically just close it. You hear it click twice. That means both slides have attached. And this gives us a full distance out. So when we pull this drawer out, we have the whole distance of the depth of the drawer that we can use. Unlike back in the old days when you had either ball bearing slides, you had a wood slide, and if you pulled it too far out, you lost the drawer. Or just a regular rail slides where it stopped, the wheel on it stopped at a certain point. This allows for a full view of the drawer, so you actually have a lot of usable space here. And then the face of this, now I don't know what the finish is on this, and I didn't get a chance to ask him what this was, but this looks like it's probably, might be a rub finish or something like that. And then what he's done is, this is actually a ply material, so it's very durable, and then it's got a solid stock material all the way around the edges to finish it out. So when you look at this edge, this ply, you're not going to see this ply, it's got about 1/8 of an inch of material around the perimeter of it. Real nice construction, soft close. And then these doors, they're done in the same manner. They've got it's actually a plywood, and then it's got, it's finished out with this strip of material instead of using a banding. Banding is a much cheaper, inexpensive way to go with it. Just doesn't give you, this is a nice hardy look to the door, gives you a much richer look to it. And with the banding typically is a glued on banding. A lot of times from water damage, things like that, the banding can start to curl back a little bit. So, and then this is soft close as well. So we've got knobs to put on here, and what we're going to do is we're going to, I've taken a picture of the front of the cabinet. We're going to place the knobs in the picture and just verify, because you can only drill once, or you got to replace it. We don't want to do that. This unit was actually built as a solid unit. This is 79 3/4, and it matches almost identical to the old unit that was here. And how he does his kick space, if you want to come on over here, I'll show you. This kick space is done slightly different. So he makes a pedestal and then finishes out his pedestal, and the cabinet actually sits on top of that. And then he's got quarter inch material, solid material that he uses for the pedestal. So, and then you can see his method is not to overhang the stile. These are your stiles. They're the vertical pieces on the face of the cabinet, and then your rails are the horizontal pieces. And what he's chosen to do is he makes a flush end here. A lot of the cabinet companies, you'll see they hang it over 1/4 inch. And the reason they do that is when you're connecting cabinets together, it's much easier if the stiles match up and you have a space between your side panels. This side material is actually a veneer, and it's the side of it is actually what we call MDF, or medium density fiberboard. And it's pretty common for cabinetry now, and you can see it's veneered both sides, and it actually has a solid veneer on it, so it is a solid material, as opposed to if you were to get something with a picture on it, which is, you'll find in less expensive cabinetry. This is very high end. It's been done in a very nice way, and then we've got a little filler strip at the end there. We are ready for our countertops, ready for our plumbing. Everything's in and prepared to go. We did a great job installing. We've got a cabinet directly above us here that's been installed, and then we're still waiting on the third cabinet for the other bathroom flanking on the other end of the house. We should have that in a couple of days, I would guess, and we'll get that installed. And then I would say our fabricator, now this material takes a little bit more time because it's not solid stone, so it's going to be done in a layer. It takes a little bit more time. There's a little bit more production to it. So I would imagine probably toward the end of the next week we'll be looking at countertops in here, and we'll be ready to go ahead and bring our mirrors in and our lighting, get our plumbing done, and then start to kind of work our way out of here and get cleaned up. And that's where we stand on this job right now. We'll talk to you soon.